up, everybody? We're packing for a trip. We are headed down to Hot Springs, Arkansas, my hometown, for about 3 or 4 days. Actually, for my mom, who passed away earlier this year, Saturday will be her birthday, and we're having a celebration of life. We didn't do a funeral for reasons that aren't important. Yeah, so we're getting ready to go down there, and we got some work to do on the RV to get it road ready because it's been a couple months. This is old dried up silicone that was holding the plexiglass in this cabinet door. This is not exactly what I wanted. I bought this at a RV store in like Corpus Christi, I think. Sure it'll work. Alright, that was definitely not the right type of adhesive. We could have like installed windows with that. But it'll get the job done. So, moving on. Ooh, welcome aboard. When we reopened our office this December, we did not have internet. It took a while to get commercial fiber installed. So I borrowed this guy, and it ran an office with like 6 people working out of it, no problem. Which is great, because it gives me a lot of confidence in how like sustainable that is for our road travel. Not that I didn't know it worked, I just didn't know at what point it would fall apart. And the answer is, it doesn't. Not with the amount of people we'll have in the rig. It'll be fine. And we never used more than half of our data plan, so that's cool. So, where were we? Gutted. Did a little off-grid landing with the drone, and I got a bunch of sand in the rotors. So that's why you haven't had drone shots in like 6 months of videos. So I'm gonna see if I can get this cleaned up for you guys, so we can have some fancy drone shots again. Crunchy, crunchy. Much better. Seems happy. We've also got our little custom cabinet door under the sink that's needed a knob forever. You kind of had to grab it by the side. That thing fell off on our last trip. The whole door, I mean. Paige fixed that, but she said, can we get a knob? And she had these laying around. Doesn't quite match the style, but it's fun. It's quirky. So let's go put that in. It has been raining all day while we were trying to pack. The sun's finally coming out though, on this side, not that side. After I've stood out in the wet nastiness, loading the bikes on, I had to crawl under the RV and air up our helper springs in the front.
We're going to Hot Springs. Did you tell them that?
I think so.
We're going to Hot Springs. We're all packed finally. It is what time? We said we could leave at 11 at the earliest. It's 1 o'clock now. The sun is out finally after a week.
At last.
We have a couple stops we need to make. We need to go to the grocery store for a very small amount of things. Henry's got his Yoda radio. And there's jams or something. It's not even on. He's got his yodel. He forgot to turn it on. Okay. And we're off.
Doing a quick grocery stop at the local Walmart. Check out this parking job. Yes, sir. In a standard spot.
I can't see me. There we go. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, good morning, good morning.
That's enough. Wow, we're getting lifted.
Oh.
Oh.
I wanna lay on the camera.
Oh no.
Come talk to everybody.
Come sit down. I don't know if there's room for both of us. I have my coffee bin over there.
Morning. We're on our shakedown trip.
This is a shakedown.
Because we're going on a 1 month. Because we're going on a 3 to 4 week trip in a couple of weeks.
We didn't use the RV all winter, so we didn't know if anything worked. So we have to test it all. And it's working.
And we borrowed things from the RV and brought them into the house. It was like a trickle of things coming out of the RV into the house, like the heater and towels for the hot tub and like random stuff. So it was quite a scramble to figure out what all that stuff was and bring it back. Yeah, packing the RV was a real pain in the butt this time, and we forgot a bunch of stuff. Luckily, my brother's on his way down, and anyway, they're gonna help bring the stuff that we forgot. Fixed the door. We hung the banana hammock. I tried to fix that door, and that was a disaster. It's like really great. I screwed this back on. It had fallen off like mid-drive one time, and you put this cool knob.
I did put a knob on it. This has never had a knob.
Because we were pushing against this to open it.
Yeah, and it sucks.
And it would go side to side, and that's what made the screws come out. So now we can pull straight out, and it shouldn't break again. Banana hammock?
We found out that we're cooking those.
Yeah, it's right over the stove. I thought it would be high enough.
It's alright.
Maybe high enough.
What else did we do? Oh, this sink had stopped working almost entirely, and I thought it was the hookup to it. But I pulled the aerator off, and it had like a 1/4 inch thick chunk of blah in it.
Oh, so gross. Thank God we used the Berkey.
That's why we used the Berkey. I don't know if we fixed anything else, but so far so good. All systems go. I had trouble getting the gas fridge to kick on. It kept telling me to check the pilot and it was making weird sounds, but it just had air in the gas line from having the gas shut off. After I ran the gas through the stove for a little while, it came back to life. No leaks. We're good.
Alright.
It's pushing all the coffee grounds down there. Take that, coffee grounds.
Coffee grounds.
Is that insulated?
Cheers. It's what?
Is that insulated?
Yeah.
No. We're taking the RV. We're taking the e-bikes off the rack.
Pretty sure it's in time-lapse mode.
Henry asked to bring his boat with us on our bike ride. There might be a lake for us to put it in.
I'm about to put a helmet on, everybody.
I'm looking at a road that's paved in gold. Instead of taking it, I'm taking pieces home. And you could say I'm far beyond control. As you play, it's substance to my soul. Every day is a play in an opera hall. Someone say, I forgot my role. Brown bags and I stay at the stepping stone. And there's a way, but I get to know.
No, that's too big. Mine are so big it doesn't even fit.
Orange too?
Yours is good? You good?
Let's go. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Me too.
Legs are good.
Let's go find this little trail.
Paige, are you surprising me with the destination wedding?
No. Are you surprising me? I really do look beautiful today, though.
It'd be a good day for
I think
it.
I'm ready.
Someone picked a good day. It wasn't me. You guys been gonna hike this trail?
Yeah, I think that might be it.
That's part of it. You can dig your boat, mate.
Come on in the water. The water.
This was the Lake DeGray State Park Lodge. We're really van lifing it this trip. We had somewhere to be in town every single day, so time to go pack up and ride to Hot Springs. Egg-shaped rock.
Is that in there?
Yeah, they're pretty heavy. She's clicked. What do you think of these burgers, kiddo?
Oh no, it's not exciting.
Whoa, was it good?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the things we need to check on a shakedown trip, most importantly, are like RV mechanical stuff. So obviously we're driving it. You're driving it.
It's doing pretty good. We did get one Actually, like twice I saw a check engine light, and it's right when it starts up. I forgot to bring my scanner, so I'll plug it into the port and scan it and see if it had any codes, but after it warmed up, it was fine. Other than that, it's been driving great.
And then there's the things when we get to camp that are like our hookups, so like water, power, our propane, things like that.
Water was good. I drove off with our inline water filter sitting on the bumper yesterday. So that's somewhere between Lake DeGray and Hot Springs.
So we need a new one.
We needed a new one of those anyway. You know, we've been using it. We put a lot of gallons through that thing.
Although we do regret the littering.
Yes, that part I feel quite bad about.
Casey kept saying like that sounds funny, and like maybe the water pump was making a difference.
The water pump was struggling to get started, but once it got primed, it was good. It just had some air in it, I think.
That's kind of how everything felt. Like it just needed a minute to get back in the groove, and everything was okay.
The propane had a priming problem too with the fridge. It took like 3 tries to get the pilot light to light, but then it finally figured it out.
Yeah, so we winterized the RV this winter, so we wanted to make sure the water could run through, there were no leaks, all of that stuff. Propane power was fine.
Yeah, everything was good with power.
We plugged in fine, the inverter worked fine.
Inverter worked fine. Solar worked fine, that was charging fine.
Batteries are good.
The only thing I don't know about the batteries is we've cycled those a bunch now, and they definitely have less capacity than they started with, but sorry, Scott County, Arkansas.
So I think if we were about to go on a trip similar to our last one that included
I would
a lot
replace
of
the batteries.
docking, we would be talking about replacing the batteries. But our next trip's going to have a lot more hookups just because of the way, the lack of boondocking opportunities, I guess I should say.
We're going east. We're going east.
Yeah, we're
Lots
going
of power pedestals in our future.
So I don't think it's something we need to worry about now, but that is good to keep in mind.
It's worth noting that we have AGM batteries, not lithium batteries, and so they're just going to deteriorate as they cycle. I know that when we were maybe at Gutted, there were times where like the batteries were supposed to have about 70% of their capacity left, but like when the inverter kicked on, remember it like undervolted that one time and alarmed.
Yeah. And obviously the e-bikes, we had to check those out. We haven't been riding from home.
Yeah.
I don't think we'd ridden since our last trip.
No, very little. I rode it to the office one day, I remember that.
Casey took care of airing up the tires and checking everything over before we left, and then we rode them while we were at the campground, and everything seemed good with those, yeah?
Sorry, I'm dodging potholes.
Oh, he's
But
drunk.
yes, I did do that. We probably could loop the chains.
Yeah, my chain especially.
We didn't charge the batteries up before we left.
We need to do that.
We need to do that before our next trip. It's just always hard, like especially if we're running on solar and they take such a long time to charge, that if you don't start full, it's real easy to get where you're always working on the bottom half of those batteries, you know.
The last thing was just keeping a list of stuff that we forgot to pack or that we want to buy, or you know, things that we thought of.
Packing list stuff. I know that we probably noted a few things on the packing list. There were some things we forgot. I've got a mental list and maybe a little bit of a physical list.
Yeah, we wrote down a few things. We forgot the trasharoo. That was a real bummer. And then there were just some other things. And then there's also like the maintenance list. So we did a couple of little projects before we headed out, like small repair things. But I still need to figure out the glass for my upper bin. Yeah,
that was a failed maintenance job on my part.
We tried to replace it, but we need to use different glue. So that's still on the list. And then I want to hang a curtain rod in the back, over the back window, because that roller shade isn't working very well. So just like small, like, just need to get out my drill kind of thing.
This is a piece of shit road with some piece of shit people driving on it.
I know, you'd think on a Sunday no one would be in a hurry.
No, man, everyone is up my ass saying, "Put that bitch."
Yeah,
I got somewhere to be. The pile of rigs, look at them all.
Oh yeah.
Rig, and a FedEx truck.
Thanks for coming with us on our Shakedown trip. Hopefully our little list can remind you of something you might need on your next big adventure. What?
I'm just laughing at the road.
The road's really bad.
It's really bad right here. Yeah, that was a good time. I think we're ready. I think we're ready for a big trip. There's some little things we're gonna do, but I'm ready for Savannah.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see you in the next one.